What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the money management. I just realized I left the camera on, but it's all good. I'm back here to bring you guys another video today. So in this video, I'm going to be looking at a few stocks which we traded this past week. Of course, some stocks to watch this upcoming week. And we're just going to discuss a few things you can be doing in this kind of market because, as you guys know, this is a very tough market and a market where if you can survive in the future, you're going to be an excellent trader. I guarantee you that. So to start off with, let's just look at the earnings for this upcoming week. This time I'm not on ChatterQuant, I'm actually on the Earnings Whisperers page. So let's look into it. Monday, you got Palantir before market. That's pretty interesting. After close, obviously the big one there, AMC, but I'll also be looking at UPST. Not really anything else that interests me on Monday. I used to be a big fan of Tattooed Chef. Plug Power I own shares of, so I will be looking at them. But we're moving on to Tuesday. Peloton pre-market. Pretty interesting if you ask me. We also got Workhorse, and that's about it pre-market. After close, SoFi, Roblox, Oxy, Coinbase. That's 4 right there. 4 different ones right there, which I'll definitely be looking at. Then we move on to Wednesday. Nothing really interests me. Wendy's is a bit of one of those meme stocks in a way. Disney could be interesting, and Rivian had a bit of a tough time after their IPO. Apart from that, Beyond Meat is like Tattoo Chef. I used to be interested in that, but not really that much anymore. Then we move on to Thursday before open. Nothing really catching my eye, to be honest, but after hours Affirm, I'll definitely be looking at that. And then Friday, nothing really interests me on Friday, so that's mainly it. Now let's head over to the charts, and first of all, let's just have a look at what we traded this past week. As I told you guys, Oxy's earnings are coming up this week. And this past week, we traded Oxy in a Discord. You made crazy gains off that one. It was pretty much one of those where you make your home run and you're done within the first half an hour of the market. That was towards the end of the week. So let's just briefly review the chart on Oxy here. If you guys checked in with the Discord this past week, I did a study session Wednesday night, I believe. Thursday, I traded Oxy. And it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So the play of Oxy was look for a pullback towards the moving average and getting on calls, which is what we did. Now, I got the $64 call. As you can see right now, Oxy is almost $65 because it rose again on Friday. But why am I highlighting Oxy again? Once again, Oxy, ExxonMobil, MRO are all following this pattern here. Trend up, pull back towards the moving average, push up, back to the moving average, push up, back to the moving average, etc., etc. So what do I see with Oxy? Well, because Monday is when their earnings is, I'm expecting this to run. And I mean really run. I don't know how many of you guys have actually got into Oxy plays or XON or MRO or any of those. But those plays, when they move quickly. And they can have easy 5, 6, 7% days when the rest of the market is lacking, lacking behind. So Oxy is definitely my radar. We also traded SPY this week. We traded SPY to the downside and also to the upside. As you guys probably know by now, if you watch my videos or if you're in the Discord, that's probably the best thing for you to do. You don't want to just pick a side and say, I'm only trading calls or I'm only trading puts. With SPY, you got to go both ways. You got to be okay with trading the puts when it's time for puts and be okay with trading the calls when it's running. So this week there was an FOMC meeting and SPY briefly dropped. In fact, hold on, let's go to the 4-hour chart. So this is when the FOMC was. This was the day. So SPY briefly dropped before running up hard. And we made money off the puts, but then also off the calls with the run up. Now, since then, it hit, since it hit the highs of 429, it sold off to around 406 briefly, yeah. And then now it's sitting around 411. But what am I looking at with SPY? This week, I think the downtrend continues. I do believe either this week or next, or let's just say this month in May, we will see SPY at 400. Now, there's no guarantee it happens, but SPY is below all 3 moving averages, red, orange, and purple line here. It's below all my levels of support, and I'm waiting for it to find a solid level of support somewhere around, I'm assuming the $400 price point. Another number I've been hearing is $396. Maybe we'll see something on a daily chart if we pull that up right now. but I am looking for SPY to bottom out somewhere before we get a confirmation of uptrend. And then, of course, I would look to get some nice positions in calls, but first we need to see it bottom out and actually find a solid confirmation of uptrend. Now, let's move on to some of the stocks to watch for this upcoming week because, like I said, this past week, first week of May, we traded Oxy twice, MRO, we traded SPY calls and puts. I also swung a Mara put. It was a pretty solid week all round, but let's look at this upcoming week. So, UPST, Monday, right? Upstart. And you might be surprised at what I'm expecting of UPST here. I'm expecting a run towards, wait for the chart to pull up. So, UPST, clearly been downtrending, hit my level of support and started uptrending again, which was a good sign. Now, we're trending right in between the 9 and 21 moving average on the daily chart. So what am I expecting? You might be surprised, like I said. A lot of people are expecting a drop to around $72, the level I have marked out here. But you see this magical green line and the blue line here? That is what I'm expecting. So Friday it sold off almost 6%. Now I'm expecting a run up 6-7%, up towards $98, $100. So I'm looking at UPST calls. Why am I looking at UPST calls? Well, because they're going to announce earnings, right? One of the things that we're going to be interested to see is, could this be a potential anti-inflation play? So what I mean by that is ExxonMobil, MRO, those oil plays, steel, gas, those are plays where you're protected against inflation when you invest in those. UPST could also be one of those in this case. And I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm looking for this to push up, a solid $10 to $15 because a lot of people expect this to drop, but it could be one of those where you get a surprise beat. And if you do get a surprise beat with earnings, then the share price is going to start running again. If the share price runs again, guess what? You make money off calls. But since I talked about the share price, let me just highlight this. From UPST's highs at, what was it? It was something crazy, I think almost $400. There we go, yeah, 390 back in October. We have fallen off so far. And this is one of those plays where I'm like, you know what? I do think that when interest rates are going higher, lenders are going to become more important. And UPST is one of those plays where consumer credit is extremely important. That is what this stock is about. That's what this company is about. If you go and research Upstart, you will understand it's about lending and interest rates. These kind of stocks are the ones where technically, if you want to hedge against inflation, you might want to invest in something like this. And you'll understand what I mean when they eventually announce their earnings this coming Monday. I do believe they'll beat. I do believe this stock will rise. So I'm looking at UPST calls, especially after the amount of selling off it's done. So I'm looking at this to be a discount play. I think it's at a discount right now. I think long term, we're going to see some big power moves. AMC, let's have a brief look. I'm not going to trade AMC, but I'm going to be looking at it. So how much is it now? $15, $16, $13. Wow. Funny thing that about AMC is it seems to hold at this, you know what, let's draw a level. It seems to hold at this price point because this is the daily chart, right? Look at this price point. It seems to hold its level of support around here, right around here. And I'm just putting this out there so that I can see what AMC will do. I'm not too bothered about what it does. I'm not going to invest in it. I'm not going to trade it, but I am interested to see, are they going to pump it up? Are they going to drop it? Doctor Strange just came out yesterday, didn't it? We'll be interested to see if those numbers have had any effects, opening weekend numbers. We'll see. A lot of people are choosing to go to cheaper movie theaters because AMC is pretty expensive. But again, let's just see how this one pans out. So next I'm going to pick up on SoFi, 2 reasons. Reason number one, and there's a reason I'm putting this as number one, because last week, so I think the end of April, like April 28th or 29th, I told you guys in the Discord I am buying SoFi shares at $6.06. That was when it was down here. And now the shares are up almost 14%. They ran up to $7.30 about 2-3 days later. But that's why I wanted to highlight that first. Don't neglect your long-term plays. Second of all, the reason I'm highlighting this is because I honestly think this is going to run to about $7 this week. Maybe break this moving average, break past it and head up towards $8, possibly $9. I would be intrigued to see when it will get to this moving average, the 200-day moving average at $10.60. but I am looking at SoFi calls. Again, another stock which has sold off in anticipation of earnings. That is good. I look at that as a positive. That means we can get in at cheaper price for the calls. I don't know who is gonna be trading this with me in the Discord, but I do know that I am going to be trading this. So please don't neglect your long-term play, and also just look at SoFi for a potential buy when it comes to the call options this week. My price target again, $7 and let's say 5 cents. Second price target, slightly under the $8. Third price target would be around the nines, high nines, maybe tens. Just so you guys have an idea of what I'm looking at. But I am looking at SoFi calls. Then what other earnings plays do we have this upcoming week? Oh, of course, Roblox. That is also Tuesday, isn't it? So Roblox. This might not be one I touch this week. It's sold off again in anticipation of earnings, down 9% on the day. Roblox is below all my levels of support, so it's also below all the moving averages. Yeah, I'll probably look at puts for this one. But last time they had earnings, it had a huge move. There was a tank, right? Okay, it tanked, yeah. Tanked like $20. In fact, that's the same for UPST, which we looked at earlier. Last time they announced earnings, that one tanked or rose 40 points. I think it tanked 40 points. But yes, Roblox is on my radar for this week. I'll just be looking at probably getting some shares for the long haul. If it does run up before earnings, I might actually stay away from it. If it sells off more before earnings, I will look at getting some shares. But Oxy, Tuesday. Gotta tell you guys, this past week, trading Oxy, the $58 calls, then we did the $62 calls. Both of them paid off heavily. I'm only worried about Oxy because XOM and CVS announced earnings just over a week ago, and they sold off right around earnings time. So I might have to play the earnings run up with Oxy and then just leave it for the overnight hold. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I might just have to wait and see how it moves, but I would like to get in the earnings run up. I do believe an earnings run up will come. Whether that happens or not, who knows? But that is what I'm looking at. I'll just look at one more earnings play for this upcoming weekend, and the rest we'll talk about in the Discord. And then the rest of the stocks I'll analyze on here will not be earnings plays. So I'll go with a firm for this Thursday aftermarket. A firm just like Roblox, just like the other stocks I mentioned, just like SoFi, just like UPST, has sold off in anticipation of earnings. It's below all three moving averages. It's clearly bearish. It's actually broken below the lows from this year, or around $25. It's at $24.95 right now. It's sort of 8% Friday. Whew. Long term, just like UPST, I like this one. But short term, it looks very bearish. If UPST does run, maybe that gives us an indication of what a firm is expected to do. Maybe it will also run. All right, now let's look at a couple more stocks, non-earnings related. First of all, I'm going to go with AMD because a lot of our people in the Discord are in AMD options. I am currently not in any AMD position, but I am liking it for a push towards $100 and beyond this week. My first price target is $100, well, $99.76, and then it will be $110. It's looking good on the RSI. It's not crossing over in a downwards motion, which is a positive sign. It has just done a crossover at the beginning of this past week, which was a good sign, and that's why you see the uptrend here. MACD, same sort of thing. No crossover looks to be happening anytime soon. It might be pushing up and selling off intraday, but in theory, you just have to play what this gives you. As you can see, it's pulled back to the moving average a few times here. Let's just look at a shorter time frame. Same sort of thing. A little bit of consolidation in this channel here on the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 1-hour chart. Seems to have tried to push up, but then pulled back to this level of support here. Again, we're going to play what it gives us with this one, but I am probably looking at calls. Now, lastly but not least, I'm going to look at a cruise line here, Carnival Cruise Line. So this is a different sector we haven't talked about for a while. It's a sector which has been selling off heavily. And when you look at these kind of plays, I feel like that's also some crazy candles right there. But when you look at these kind of plays, I feel like this is a great long-term opportunity. Short-term, I'm looking at puts with this one. Puts down to $15. Right here, right around $15. See where it hit the lows of earlier this year? Right there. That's what I'm looking at puts at. But I am also going to look at the long-term shares and maybe also leaps. I feel like they want you to sell everything at this point. They want you to sell all these stocks. You see how all these stocks are down 4%, 5% daily. That's usually like a monthly sell off. A stock that drops 4% in a month. That's what we should expect. Not 4%, 5% daily, a couple times a week. That's ludicrous, honestly. 30-minute chart. You see how all of these are bearish, trending up towards the moving average, most likely going to get rejected and sell off again. I'll look at CCL puts this week. If you want to look at good entry point, as I always say, 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart for confirmation. That's what you want to look at. For me, how I'll play this, wait for the push up towards the moving average, then the rejection and the sell off. That's how I'll enter puts. And again, my price target to the downside is $15. But I feel like they want you to just sell everything, get rid of everything ASAP, which would be a mistake if you're already in these plays, especially at a good price. But if you're in at a high price, then okay, maybe you can sell and then buy back in at a lower price, but don't let the fear get you. So this is the VIX right now. The VIX seems bearish on, oh, this is the 5-minute chart, no wonder. Daily chart should be bullish. Here we go. That's why you look at different time frames. So make sure you know what time frame you're looking at. So RSI is at 57. It's not extremely high, slightly high. MACD seems to be continuing an uptrend. VIX is bullish. Just zoom out a little bit. You can see it's had its ups and downs, similar to the SPY, but obviously it's the opposite of SPY. I'm intrigued to see how this performs again this week. And I also just want to look at Bitcoin because Coinbase announced earnings this week. Let me see. Bitcoin should be about 36K right now. There we go. 35,958. There we go. Not bad, eh? 36K. Bitcoin is bearish. It's broken a previous level of support I had marked at just about 36.5K. Could be a nice entry for us soon. There could be a nice entry for us soon. 33K is what I'll be looking at. That's where I got in earlier this year. That's where I'll be looking to get in again. But Coinbase is announcing earnings this week. I wonder how the Bitcoin prices of recent and the crypto prices of recent will have an effect on Coinbase. I will be intrigued. But overall, as you guys know, we have the Discord, as I've mentioned multiple times. There's a free section, there's a paid section. We live trade in the free section every single day. So make sure you guys come and check out the Discord, the Royal Trading Academy. Also, I have my stock option starter pack. That is a list of 10 videos you'll have access to for life. Again, links in the description. Added to that, you can check out the links to Robinhood, to Coinbase, to Celsius. All of them are in the description below. As you guys know, the full watch list will be available in the Discord this week. That's where I have all my plays written out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, all the good stuff as always. Be back here next time for another video. And until then, have a great weekend. I go into making, you into making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.